Welcome to Intruder, agents. Now, this may look like your typical FPS game, but not so. Skullduggery, stealth, and cunning are just as important as pure gamer twitch reflexes, and you do best to remember this. There are anywhere from 1 to 3 goals on any given day, and we'll break them down for you in order of complication to ease you into your new role. The first goal, murder. It's pretty straightforward, and I don't think there's much to elaborate on. You see the opponent and you shoot them dead. Repeat until you run out of opponents. You do that, you win. It's easier said than done though, but we'll get to that a bit later. The second goal, larceny. Some maps will have a briefcase. Your goal is to steal the briefcase or prevent said briefcase from being stolen. What's in it? Who knows? We don't pay you to know about it or care. But it's probably some embarrassing faux pas photo of the Rothschild patriarch high-fiving over the corpse of between with Jeffrey Epstein. Or that other anime. Whatever's more embarrassing. Anyways, the point is, steal or don't let it be stolen. Sometimes there's more than one briefcase per map and multiple exits, and only one needs to leave the premises. But rest assured, we give you the best tools to do your job, as per the cost analysis, so stop asking us why you don't have more remote charges. The final goal is hack. These stick punks think they can bypass our region-locked content, and you need to get in there and show them who really holds the copyright. To turn off their VPNs, it's simple. You just sneak in and press the use button. Depending on where the computer is located, it could take a few more presses to get it done. Once pressed, the screen will turn red, and then return to blue, where you can press it again. You keep doing this until it turns green, indicating the hack is completed. You sneak around the compound and do this a number of times until it's over, and you've won. Now that we've explained what you need to do, let's explain how you do it. These are the tools of the trade. I'll break them down into groups for you. First, guns. This is probably the most straightforward. There are 2 pistols, the Panther and Shrike, an SMG, a shotgun, and a sniper. All the guns have some cool name the marketing team came up with, but we don't care about that, and everyone will look at you funny if you start calling them by those names. Some guns can shoot through doors, like the Shrike, shotgun, and sniper rifle. Very handy to know when you're on a gunfight with someone on the other side of the door. Yeah, guns will not only injure people, but also unbalance them. Just because someone falls over doesn't mean they're dead. Always double tap. The next category is gadgets. Difficult place to know where to start. You may not have all these items in your inventory when you load into the map, but you can typically find them all if you don't have them already. The most important one is your radio. Press F to take that out. Left click to talk to your friends. Super handy and very helpful. Often key to winning the game. But take care of what you say and where you say it. Enemy players can hear you if you're speaking close by. The next gadget, grenades. There are 3 types of grenades. The CS gas, the smoke, and the frag grenades. Well, technically there's some seasonal stuff too, and bananas, I like to include those. But we'll get into those later. All of these can be used to devastating effect. We'll start with the CS grenade. This grenade will blur the vision and invert the controls of enemies, but not you or your team. Very handy before you go and storm into an enemy position. Next, the smoke grenade. Seen one of these before, you know what it does. Finally, the frag grenade. Explosive. However, like all explosives and intruders, it does very little actual damage, but is very useful for knocking enemies over. So, you throw it, you run in, you shoot all the people after they've fallen over like the dummies they are. The banana. You ever watch a slapstick comedy? You know what to do. This next category of tools I like to call the trap daddies. Chief in charge, the remote charge. This item is like a frag grenade, but you have to manually click when you want it to go off with the remote in your hand. Just right click. Throw it, you wait, you right click, boom, blows up. Now, that sounds like a little cumbersome to have to babysit a remote charge. This is where the next tool comes in play. The laser sensor. This item will make an incredibly loud, annoying beep that only you can hear when someone passes by it. You set this trap down, wait for someone or something, doesn't have to be a person, to go by. It'll beep, and you know someone has crossed your path and they're ready for you to spring your trap. Finally, the mirror cam. This absolute lad of a tool can help you look around corners, peek through small gaps, and, if you right-click while you have it out, detonate the remote charge. Nothing feels better than waiting for some fool to enter a room to be blasted onto his ass, and then you run around the corner and finish the job. It's time for the remaining tools of the trade. Lockpick does what you think it does, but when you use it, there's a little mini game that comes up as shown here on the screen. Cardboard decoy. This thing, pretty sweet. You put it down, looks like an agent aiming a sniper rifle from your team, so that's pretty scary. The only thing is, anyone who's seen someone use a sniper rifle knows you can't hit shit while you're standing up aiming the sniper rifle. Bush camouflage. This item will disguise you from the waist up to look like a bush. Works surprisingly well, and you'd be shocked at how many people will just think you're a bush and go right by while you're standing in the garden. Binoculars. You can zoom in and send photos to your team. Really great to communicate basic ideas of like where someone is if they're familiar with the map without actually having to pull out your radio and tell them. Balloon cam. Now it's not the balloon camera, it is balloon cam. This item is like the binoculars and will take a photo and send to your team. The difference, however, is that it's a remote-controlled spy balloon, which allows you to hear what people say close to the balloon when you pilot it. It's very delicate, can be shot down easily, so use your discretion when you're piloting where you end up parking it. For bonus points, you can throw a remote charge on the back as a good old prank. Armor. Makes you slower, but gives you some more resistance to damage and keeping your balance upright. You're a lot slower, and you're also a lot louder. Riot Shield. I guess technically it's a weapon, but it doesn't actually do any damage. This thing you hold up in front of you can defend you from explosions, gunshots, basically anything as long as you point it in the right direction. Finally, the med kit. This one you have to use on a teammate. You can go up to them and heal them for 50 points of health and stop their bleeding. When you're wounded in an intruder, they'll bleed all over the place. People can use it to follow you around and shoot you in the back. So, just be aware. Great, you got all that? Well, if not, you'll have to do some learning on the job. But I'm sure you got it, as you're a highly capable, extensively trained secret PMC operative. We'll give you a quick rundown on where you'll be stationed. This is Riverside, a beautiful compound divided by this bridge, river, and a dirt path. The briefcases are here on the lower floor, and here on the main floor. The escape routes are here on the dock, and here on the dirt road. You'll need to steal one of these briefcases and get it to one of those exits. Simple. Not so many secrets here, except for the vent under the bridge. Other places you'll be stationed. This is Oceanside, this is Cliffside, and finally Mountainside. I won't waste your time going into all of them, but, they're all pretty straightforward. Mountainside, a lot of secrets, places to explore. There's also a whole whack of workshop maps you can look into, but, when you die, just spectate around and you'll figure it out. You're professionals. Time for tips of the trade. Here's some tips to get you through your first day on the job. Do not walk on the railings. Accidental workplace falls is the number 2 cause of death in this job. Your balance and energy are just as important to manage as your health. Communicate with C or on your radio. Don't forget about leaning. Plan with your teammates and use your gadgets. You don't get to live twice. There's probably more to say, but HR says most new hires don't retain much information beyond this point, so we'll leave it to you. Good luck.